What is going on, everybody? Welcome to part 3 of why Slayer is the best skill. And for this episode, we're going to be covering the next part, which is Slayer skill customization. What do I mean by this? Well, in the Slayer skill, you can pretty much customize this skill to how you want to do it. Do you want to do it for more experience, or do you want to do it for more money? So, for this, we are going to be checking out part 6, which is Slayer unlocks. So throughout this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to go through every possible thing that you can unlock using your Slayer points, and we're going to go through and see why or why you should not unlock them. Alright, so getting this started, up here at the top, we have 4 possible unlocks for automatically finishing off different Slayer monsters. Gargoyle Smasher will automatically use the Rock Hammer to finish the gargoyles off. This is incredibly useful. This is definitely something that you want to have, especially if you plan on doing a lot of Grotesque Guardians. It will save you a lot of time and frustration. Slug Salter, same thing with the bag of salt that you'll use on the slugs. Probably don't want to do this one because you're not going to see these much unless you're very low Slayer level. Once you start to get up into the 60s and 70s using higher Slayer masters, you won't see the slugs. Reptile Freezer, same thing here. They don't really come across that often once you get into the higher Slayer levels and the higher Slayer masters. Shroom Sprayer, you can see the mutated Zygamites every now and then through Duradel and other higher level Slayer masters, so it is 110 points, and they are pretty quick Slayer points, so it actually is a good idea to do those tasks because they're over very quickly, so this is one you might want to consider getting. Next up is going to be Broader Fletching. This one is actually really nice to have for the Iron Men out there, so you can make your own broad weaponry. So you're definitely going to want to get that if you are an Iron Man. It is 300 points. As for main accounts, I would say skip this one. You can buy broad stuff off of the Grand Exchange, except for the arrows. But regardless, either way you look at it, Iron Men definitely have to have this. Malevolent Masquerade, very, very important. You want to get this as soon as possible. 400 points, and with this one you can make your own Slayer helmet. You combine it with a black mask and the other headgear associated with the Slayer skill, and you will have a nice Slayer helmet. Ring Bling, at 75 crafting, you are able to make your own Slayer rings, which will teleport you to various Slayer locations around RuneScape. Very important to have once you hit 75 crafting, especially if you're, again, an Iron Man. If you're not, you could just save up the money to buy an Eternal Slayer ring and use that. Next up is Seeing Red. This will unlock Red Dragons for you. I don't suggest this one. Red Dragons aren't the greatest money, and they do take a while to kill unless you're killing the brutal Red Dragons. Then they could be decent profit, but you're still not seeing that much. Definitely not worth the 50 points. Next up is going to be I Hope You Myth Me, and that is the unlock for the Mithril Dragons. Again, this one's kind of up to you. The Dragon Full Helm is really their only notable drop, and it is 1 in 32,000. Chewed Bones, you can get it 1 in 250 as a drop chance. I would say unlock this and do them just for that chance. You generally don't get a lot of these in a task unless you have it extended. Watch the Birdie is going to be for Konar, Duradel, Steve, Chaldar, and Krystilia. They will be able to assign you Aviancies, and this is great because you can then kill the God Wars dungeon boss Kriara while on a Slayer task because it is just a big Aviancy. Very nice unlock. Spend the points for that one. Next up is Hot Stuff, and this is incredibly good to have, especially for you first-time Fire Capers. Duradel, Steve, and Chaldar will be able to assign Zar as your Slayer task, and you can opt to have Jad as your Slayer task instead of Zar. You do not have to complete Jad once to get this assigned as a task. However, if you do want to get a Zuck task, you will have to beat it without being on a Slayer task before you can be assigned Zuck. Reptile Got Ripped. This one will allow you to be assigned the Lizard Men, and it's pretty nice for Iron Men if you're trying to hunt a Dragon Warhammer. For other accounts, optional. Main accounts really don't need this. You can go buy a Dragon Warhammer from the Grand Exchange, assuming you've saved up the money. But if you would like to see them as a Slayer task, you can do that. Personally, I would not. Like a Boss, another very important unlock. This one will allow Konar, Duradel, and Steve to assign you boss monsters as your task. You can choose up to 35 of them or up to 40 or something like that with the combat achievements done, depending on how many you have. Now this one, with the boss tasks, using a Slayer helmet at bosses is absolutely incredible. So 200 points for that. Definitely get that once you are in bossing range. Bigger and badder. This one you'll probably want to unlock either right before you get the Slayer helmet or right after. It has to be one or two. This will allow you to get superior creatures as a spawn when you kill a normal Slayer monster, and these do drop the imbued hearts and the eternal gems, which can make you a little bit of money. Not to mention, they do drop 3 of the normal NPCs drop table at a time. 150 points for this one, definitely get that. Next up is our Slayer Helm recolors. King Black Bonnet, Calphite Cat, Unholy Helmet, Dark Mantle, Undead Head, and Use More Head. These will allow you to craft Slayer helmets using the item that the NPC drops, that you can make them nice and colorful. Now these are 1,000 points each, so this is not a priority. Don't waste your points on coloring your Slayer helmet unless you have the points to waste. If you only have 1,100 Slayer points and you want to make a helmet, probably not a good idea, because then you only have 100 left, and then you're forced to do crappy tasks if you have to skip a few to get a good one. Really cool items to have, the colored Slayer helmets, but be responsible with your points. Don't unlock this just yet. Make sure you've got the points left over. Duly noted, Mithril Dragons will drop Mithril bars in a banknote while killed on assignment. Now, if you do choose to unlock the Mithril Dragons, absolutely get this, because it does add up after a while, especially if you do make the choice to have them extended. So you can have your note of Mithril bars and turn a little bit of profit, or just get back some of the money you've wasted at Mithril Dragons. Stop the Wyvern. This will stop you from getting Fossil Island Wyvern tasks, and it will not count towards your block task limit. I personally have never done this because I kill the Ancient Wyverns when I do get a task. You only get like 30 to 50 of them or something like that. And there is a chance of a Wyvern Visage in there, and their loot's not terrible. You will profit here. I would not suggest wasting the 500 points on this. Just do the Ancient Wyverns once you get up to that caliber of monster. Next up is Double Trouble. Slaying Dusk and Dawn now counts for 2 kills towards your Gargoyle task rather than 1. It is 500 points. I also don't see the point of this. I'd rather kill more on a Slayer task and have more chances of loot and pets and jars. Basilisked. Konar, Duradel, and Steve will be able to assign you Basilisks as your task. I only recommend this if you can kill the Basilisk Knights. This is a must-have for the Iron Men out there, because you do want to get that Basilisk jaw drop to make your Nits Not face guard. As for main accounts, it is entirely up to you if you want to take the chance at grabbing that drop. It is 1 in 1,000 on a Slayer task and 1 in 5,000 if you are not on a Slayer task. I did unlock this myself to get that jaw. It took me 4,000 kills, but I got it. So, another one that is up to you. 80 points for this one. Twisted Vision. This is also another Slayer helmet, and you can combine the Twisted Horns to make this one. Again, 1,000 points for this one. So remember, be responsible with your points. If you really want this helmet, make sure you have enough left over so you can skip some bad tasks. Actual Vampire Slayer. This will allow Konar, Duradel, Steve, and Chaldar to assign you vampires on your task. They're not bad loot, and they do have the chance to drop a Blood Shard 1 in 1,500, and the task doesn't take too terribly long. 80 points to unlock this. I would suggest unlocking this once you can kill the Firewatch Sentinels. And last but not least is the task storage, and this one was a great recent update. 1,000 points for this. It is pretty hefty, but you can store one of your tasks for 50 Slayer points, and you can take it later if you do want to do it. An example that I can come up with right now is maybe you just got a Hydra task, but you don't have time to do it right now. Maybe you have to do something more AFK. Maybe you're studying, doing homework. Maybe you're at work. Who cares? You can take that Hydra task and store it for later. Come back to it when you're at home and chilling in your underwear. So that is every available unlock that is currently in the Slayer skill. I hope that I've given you guys good enough explanations on why or why not to unlock these. So as usual with these episodes, I am going to cover my next 250,000 Slayer experience, and we're on our way to 1,000,000 XP with Duradel only to see how much money I can make when only doing money-making tasks. First, let's check out what kind of tasks that I have done since the last episode. So for this one, 17 Grotesque Guardians. I actually ran right up to the 250k XP mark for the last episode, and I had 17 left on that task. So that is where I began, 25k XP from those 17 Grotesque Guardians. I don't have the Double Trouble thing unlocked, so they do only count as 1 kill apiece for me. Spiritual Mages, Zamorakian ones. Everybody hates this task. A lot of people are like, no, don't do those, block those, skip those. I don't know why. They're very fast, 75 HP on the Zamorakian Spiritual Mages, and you can pretty much two-hit almost every single one of them. And I got a fair amount of Dragon Boots, which we will see on this task. I say don't skip those, do them. It's very easy and very quick. Thermonuclear Smoke Devil, 189 of those, 45k XP. Dark Beasts, again, I do those because they are quick points, only 19 of them in and out of there in just a few minutes with 15 Slayer points. Skeletal Wyverns, 33 of those. Dark Beasts again, 17, another quick 15 points. 35 Abyssal Sires, got those knocked out. Did manage to get an Unsired, which we'll see in a second, I think. Maybe I put it in there? I don't remember. Demonic Gorillas, 199 of them. 81,000 experience. Huge chunk of XP for this 250k. Lots of Slayer XP there. Good money regardless of whether you get a Zenite drop or not. King Black Dragon, 35 of those for almost 14,000 XP. Abyssal Sires, 35 more of those. 27.7k XP there, and I rounded this one out with 3 Rune Dragons, which took me right up to 250,215 XP. So nice task to end that 250k XP just as close as I possibly could. Alright, so what's my loot looking like? So here we go on the screen. My current estimated total through 500,000 XP is 24,308,490 GP. But let's look at the specifics. So my runes, getting a little better on the stacks there. 5,200 Chaos, 3,700 Deaths, 3,000 Bloods, 4,000 Souls, 600 Natures, 1,800 Laws, 1,750 in the Cosmic Runes. And why am I picking up the Smoke Runes? I don't know, but I got 3,500 of them. Next is my kind of unique drop table. Still got the Trident of the Seas from that Kraken task from the last episode. 2 Dragon Meds, I just threw those in there because I happened to get them from the King Black Dragon. 4 Dragon Boots from that Spiritual Mage task I was talking about earlier. So it was about 800k plus the runes I picked up. Probably made about a mil on that task. Dragon Skirt and a Ballista Spring. Unfortunate, but that's the only rare I picked up from that Demonic Gorillas task. Over in the tab, 18.55 million is my current estimated total. 7.1 mil in platinum tokens. That is all the stuff that I have alched throughout the now 500,000 experience. And we got some pretty good resources starting to stack up in there. Got a good amount of Renar and Snapdragon seeds. 2,300 gold ore, 2,700 coal. And we got some other stuff in there. My bones collection is getting a little bit bigger. I'm not really seeing much there. And lots of rune bolts from the Demonic Gorillas, 2,100, 269 Dragon Javelin tips. But all in all, 24.3 mil is where I'm sitting. I haven't really been that lucky. Actually, I really haven't been lucky at all with the unique drops yet. Still have 500,000 XP to go, so that could get better. But all in all, 24.3 mil. I'm not really too mad about that for 500,000 Slayer XP. When you're making an account and you're doing something, you gotta build a bank somehow. So 24 mil is better than no mil. So that's gonna do it, guys, for this episode. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up down below. And don't forget to subscribe on your way out. I hope that you will join me for episode 4 in this series, which will be coming out as soon as I finish the next 250,000 experience. We will be going over some more Slayer stuff and why or why not you should do it. Thank you all for watching. I will see you on the next one. Take it easy, everybody.